Good morning, everyone. How are we all doing today? I have here my co-host, Alpha Wolfie, and today we are interviewing the handsome Sam Shock. So without further ado, you guys, let's jump right into this week's episode of Elena Demonetized. So, Sam Shock, tell the whole world a little bit about yourself for those who don't know who you are.
All right, I'm Sam Shock. I am a professional porn star. I started out with camming, and now I do it all.
So camming, what's like the main website for camming? Where did you start with camming? Because I know it was on you now, just gaming and twitching, and then just getting naked on there. So where was like your main platform for kind of like webcamming?
For me, it was Chatterbait.
I've heard a lot about Chatterbait. We were at the AVN convention, and there's this guy at the Chatterbait booth, and he was like trying to get you on it, but then you were kind of like asking more details about it, and I was like,
yeah, that was Ryan Landers. Yeah, Ryan Landers. They had, I don't know, you were AVN, right?
Yeah, I was.
Yeah, so they had, on the straight side, they had, you guys had like Chatterbait had like 6 huge booths set up with a bunch of computers everywhere and live streaming. But on the gay side, there was this like one huge booth, and it was like decked out with so many snacks and treats, and there was only 2 guys streaming out of this whole space. And anyways, this guy actually ended up kind of like stealing the whole show over there because he was getting all the porn stars to come on and live stream, and he was killing it, dude. Like, I'm like, how much money are you making off this? He's like, I'm doing pretty good right now. And so like, he'd like bring a porn star back in like the little, because they had a spot where all the servers were at, like a little spot. And so that little back room, and so he takes someone back there. Maybe they mess around, maybe they don't, but like it just, he's getting tips and all that stuff. I'm like, and there's no sex happening, it's just streaming. And I'm like, damn. So I was always interested in like, there's people that's asked me to do that, being where I'm at now, and I'm like, I don't know how to revert back into that because I don't feel like I have time to do it. But like, it's interesting to me because like some people kill it, like they make a lot of money. Is that right or no?
Oh yeah, you can definitely make a lot of money. I think like for me, well, that's the thing, like, so there is like the gay side and then like the straight side. I would do some solos and I would make pretty good money doing that, but also I would do where you bring in another person.
Right.
You can get a lot of money. Like you can be, if you're bringing in 2 people, so it's like a boy-girl show, then you can be like number 1 on the site pretty easily. So what I would do is I would do my solos or whatever, and I'd make pretty good money. But then like I would try to schedule with girls or whatever. So I'd bring somebody on, and then that's when you're like number 1 on the site, making like a whole. You have to split it, but you're making like way more money. But that's smart with the bringing somebody. I'm going to do that.
Yeah.
I'm going to go to Chicago Exotic, and I'm going to do that because there is a back area for every one of the sections. So I mean, like, 'cause you can't be like naked out in public.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So I might do that. Like, tip this much, and we're gonna do.
Yeah, you could be risque enough. Like, shirt could be off, looking somewhat sexy, but like you can't be obviously flaunting yourself.
You can't be naked on the floor.
No nudity.
Like, I don't know. Take it back.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what he was doing.
You can't be naked on Chatterbait?
No, on the floor.
No, like at like.
Okay, off camera.
Yeah, everybody's naked on Chatterbait.
Yeah, fuck yeah, they better be naked.
Chatterbait's the one. So on Streamate, you can't be naked when you're out. Oh,
there's Streamate as well. That's the one that Brittany's always going live on.
You can't be completely naked out in the like public chat on Streamate, but Chatterbait, if you go on a Chatterbait, everybody's just naked.
So even for free, like if I logged on right now, I could just go see naked people.
Everybody's naked. Yeah.
So you're mainly working from tips then?
Oh yeah.
Okay, that's what. So it's not like an hour. Why did you yours was like an hourly thing, wasn't it?
Yeah, some other company hit me up. They're like, "Hey, we're starting a new camming thing," and they offered me, we're starting out, and we want new models, $30 an hour, and if you do good, we'll bump you up to $40 an hour. I'm like, is there any tips involved with that? Because I'm certainly not going to get fucking naked and like put on shows for $30 an hour when I can go post a fucking ad on Rentman and make $1,000 an hour. You know what I mean? Like, that's wild. So tips must have been included. I don't know. So doing that, is that kind of how like, did studios see you like after you were like doing Chatterbait? Like what was like the doorway? Did a model see you? Did a director find you? Were you on Twitter? Like,
I mean, I think a couple of studios started to hit me up once I like actually started to go all in on it. Like I got fired from my job, so
we're gonna talk about that in a second.
I would cam like once a month, and then I got fired from my job, and I was like, guess I'm doing this full time.
Yes,
And so I just like hit up like all these porn stars, and I was like, if you hit up 100 people, one of them's going to say yes.
Absolutely. No.
And like, to come do a cam show with me, and then like, so they'd be with an agency, and then their agent would see me, and they'd be like, hey, you know what I mean?
The agency and the agent would see that Sam Shock blew the world and blew his load.
It's crazy. You like started from like Chatterbait and then like migrated to like it's. I feel like Chatterbait is so hard to like get big from because there's so many people, and everyone's always going live at different times. So it's kind of like, do you like tell them ahead of time, like I'm gonna go live at this time, or do you kind of just go on and then like it's like a subscriber thing where like Instagram where it tells you like, oh, Sam Shock is going live right now? Like how does like the whole like get up work?
You can even if you have like a really big following and you're like, I'm gonna be on this time, blah 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 blah, over and over,
consistency.
And then you show up, nobody's there. Like they don't nobody
like,
has
fuck?
Nobody has the same schedule as you, and so for the most part, I just get on. And then, like, if they happen to be on at the same time, they can see, like, if they follow you and they're on Chatterbait, they'll see that you're on, and they'll go on there. But, like, just announcing it over and over, it never seemed to help me that much. Yeah. I just get on there, and then the numbers just build, as you're on.
That makes sense. It's kind of like going live, on Instagram. If you have a huge following, you just sit there and wait for it to build.
Yeah.
So I'd imagine, like, because, I've clicked around, like, back in the day, like, trying to jack off for free. The little things pop up. You're like,
I saw so many ads for Chatterbait.
Oh my god! I'll click on it. and I'm like, but like the majority of the people that I saw in there are not like fucking super hot like us. You know what I mean? And so I feel like for you, like hitting up 100 porn stars, and I'm sure you delivered on whoever fucking showed up. Yeah. And they told it's all it took for you. I bet like it was like wildfire. You're like,
when
slayed it with one chick, and then they're like, dude, I don't know who this Chatterbait guy is. Fucking, you need to check him out.
For the most part, I don't want to say anything negative about, but like.
Oh no, you can totally say it.
That's why Sam. God damn it! This is why we're here.
The attractiveness level on Chatterbait sometimes isn't as high as like. I think there's Flirt for Free. They have, when it comes to the male models, they're a little bit more maybe like gay focused. So there's like more attractive guys there, but like on Chatterbait, when it comes to the guys, it's kind of it's not.
Yeah, anybody can do it. You know what I mean?
I feel like girls are more successful in like webcam. I feel like girls in general in the porn community just thrive more.
You know what's a trip though is that like here's the deal with sex work is that it's available to everybody. Mm-hmm. Like sex work is inclusive to all people, all fucking races, types, colors, breeds, whatever the fuck, however you identify, because there's always somebody that wants to watch. There's there's always someone who's curious about something. I was telling one of my friends, he's an older guy, he's like 55, he's like, bro, like how do I get into that shit? Like I'm like, dude, just make it OnlyFans with your own lady, and make it Twitter. Watch, you will make money. He's like, for real? I'm like, yeah, because people want to see amateur older people fucking. Like,
yeah, people. Like,
I'd look at it. I'm not gonna lie. I'd be like, I want to see that.
People message me all the time. They're like, everybody knows this about porn stars. Is people message them and they say, how do I get into porn?
Oh my god, that's like all.
You've done that all the time, every time.
It's the dumbest question. You're like, you turn a camera on. It takes 10 seconds. Like, what do you?
It's the simple. I always tell them, like, make it Twitter, make it OnlyFans, and start marketing. Post a dick pic once a day.
Yeah, I guess you're kind of asking like how you get into like studio stuff.
I know, but
because that's kind of like a harder thing to get into.
It is, but the thing is, if you can't make it without the studio stuff, then what makes you think that you can make it on an actual
right?
Like at the trial era.
That's like for sure. I guess I'm an anomaly because I wasn't trying to get into porn. Like I got into it on a whole different level because I was dating an escort, and I was like, I saw the way she worked, and I was like, you're making so much money with such little effort. And I'm like, the way that I grew up doing construction, I'm like so good at like tending to people's needs. I'm like, I can fucking kill it in this. So I started escorting, and then lo and behold, a few weeks later, I like got into porn by meeting a porn star where I lived, and it just fell into my lap. I was like, I wasn't like, man, I want to fucking do porn. Like, it was more like, I'm gonna show you. It was so bad. It's like a bad toxic thing. Like I was like, we're always like trying to one up each other, and I'm like now I'm like doing all this like fucking 2 years into it, like deep into gay porn now, because I'm like, I had to show her.
You showed her.
Not her. Showed her all right. So you grew up in Oregon.
Yeah.
What part of Oregon?
I grew up in like different parts, but like east and west Portland. So
okay.
Portland,
so like in this like suburbs of Portland, in a sense,
suburbs,
not in the city.
Super religious household.
I can imagine.
Oh wait, were you guys
Southern Baptist?
So you're going to hell already.
Yeah, for sure.
You've been like, are your parents, do they still love you or no?
They don't know I do this.
Oh my god! Watch your dad's like.
That's literally like same. No one knows anything about me.
It's wild. Dude. Her mom and dad, they're from Vietnam. You know, they're fucking amazing people. They're so sweet. But their English is they understand. Lo and behold, her father seems to understand a lot more than we suspected. I was making these jokes the other day, and her dad starts busting up in the kitchen. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, dude, I thought you didn't speak English.
They don't like the things that we talk about on my podcast. They're literally watching it. They're like, oh my god, that's so cute.
Yeah, and like they're like, oh my god, I busted the biggest load in my girlfriend's mouth last night.
And they're like, oh, that's so cute. Whatever he's saying.
Oh my god.
They're like, look at these two. They're so cute. What are they saying? Oh my god.
Yeah, so it's a trip how like
I literally played my podcast, and it's like the most vulgar thing ever. My mom's sitting there laughing. She's like, "Ha, you look so cute," and I'm like, "Oh, okay."
So did you got like how your Sunday school like?
Oh yeah, I went to a Christian school. So
Okay,
my church
private
created a school.
Oh, so you were always there.
5 people.
Very good for understanding how the world operates.
I study every fucking day.
Oh,
like
wow.
I was at Awana's, studying just like every single night, like studying Bible verses, going to church multiple times a day.
John 3:16, go.
You guys are literally similar in that aspect.
Oh, but yeah, I was gonna feed into that. So like,
you both are very like someone kind of just like the religious background.
Well, my religious background, like growing up, was my parents dropped me off at Sunday school. They're like, "You're going here." I'm like, "Okay." I'm like, how come you're not coming? I went. I'm like, cool. Goldfish are here. And like, I remember learning about like Malachi, some guy. Like, anyways.
Yeah, I feel like some people, like even me especially, like we put like all of our energy into like religion, and then it's like not working. It's like terrible.
Yeah.
Like, let's try the complete opposite.
Yeah, let's put it all into ourselves here. Let's put all my energy into
like,
me here.
It's like, what does religion say not to do? I know.
Let's
do
the complete opposite. Yeah.
On the internet.
Do not fucking touch yourself. All right. That's gay, by the way, everybody. Did you know? So you saw my son earlier briefly when he walked in, and we have this thing with him because he's so homophobic, and like we have this thing with he's like, if you even touch your dick, you're gay. He's like, I won't even look at myself in the mirror when I jack off. I'm like, we have these. My son's almost 16. You know what I mean? I have to have these talks with my kid, but I'm like, it's the funniest shit ever. So he like won't even like. It's wild. Kids these days are just like, nope, I won't even touch myself because I have a hand and I have a dick there and I'm not gonna even do it. I'm like, wow, bro, you're really taking it to the next level here.
Why not touch yourself?
Because it's gay.
Because that's gay.
It's gay, yeah.
Well, in his eyes,
in
it's
his
gay.
eyes, yeah. I'm like, bro, you're literally in a dude's
I thought
body.
the younger generation was like, oh, you want to be like super accepting it's like okay to be a little bit gay.
That's what we said to him.
That's
we're like, damn, maybe he's like really projecting, and maybe it's like a really covered up deal. He sees his daddy.
I think it's sometimes maybe like that.
I don't know. People are like, no, like I hate that. It's like over the top. I'm like, I don't know, bro.
Yeah, that is a little weird. Like I said, no, I just mean because I thought the younger generation was
of them
was like very like, oh, let's all be a little bit gay. You know what I mean? Like let's all be super accepting.
Let's all just be a little gay.
Like even if I'm not gay, like I should probably touch a dick once. You know what I mean?
Boys walking.
Like that's what I thought I thought that the younger generation was like that, or like
they're very like homophobic.
Actually, I did hear that something about like so maybe the generation like who's around like 24. I'm 35, so that's like the younger generation of me.
Yeah,
is a little bit more like that. Like I'm a little, but like the younger ones, so like the ones who are like 15 right now. They're like going the opposite direction.
They're reverting.
I'm super conservative.
Yep.
I'm not going to drink. Like.
I'm not. You're like, when's Trump coming back?
Yeah.
Kids are like,
the really young generation are like, yeah, we want Trump.
Like, what the
we
fuck?
Want traditional values.
We need to go back to the old way. Like, who are these kids? Yeah. It's a wild thing. So, with going into straight porn, what was your very first?
Yes, because you do gay for pay porn. So I've never really met a guy that does like.
You're our first straight performer on. Like we had Dante.
I'm the first straight performer.
Yeah, well we had Dante. We had Dante Cole.
I feel like I need to do something special.
No, you are the first performer. So.
Well, I'm sure. Like even I've heard of Dante. Like, has he done anything straight?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Lots.
So
he's like the guy. He's like the performer that like trailblazed the crossover aspect. Like came in doing gay, and he's like, I don't want to just do this, you know? And so he just did it. And it was like, he's also he's very professional. He's very like personable, and always like he's like one of those like workers that just always on time. Pleasure to work with. And so by doing that, he was able to like create a space for him to do bi porn. He does trans now too, but yeah, he
does everything.
He does. I mean, I shot content with him the other day. We all shot content actually.
He does everything.
We shot a threesome with him. You know what I mean? So it was pretty rad.
Yeah, he seems cool.
But yeah, you're our first straight.
But yeah, so I'm the first that is straight and hasn't done gay for pay.
You're the first straight in general. You're the first straight
yeah, like across the board.
Haven't done any gay for pay.
Never once. That's
not once.
I know, and I know you've probably been offered many times.
Yeah,
so
of course.
Your fans are like, please.
Well, actually, in some ways, I'm lucky that I signed with an agency as soon as I did, because when you're brand new to the industry, there are certain companies who like they'll pay you a whole lot of money to do a straight scene, and then they'll fly you out to them. And then once you're there, then they do these different things like, oh, you're not going to get you to fly you back unless you do this, blah, 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 blah. And they try to get you to do something with another guy.
The old bait and switch.
So, yeah, I had some of those offers, and I would tell Mark about it, my agent, and he'd be like, do not go over there.
Don't do it. Be like, but the money sounds so good, Mark.
He's like, let me explain to you. You know, like otherwise I'd be like, oh, there's much. Oh my god,
That's like those
one
like,
scene.
That's like those scenes where like the dude's like fucking his chick, you know, and then like his homie like comes in, he's like, you know, she's like got a pillow over her face, and he steps in, he's like fucking the girl, like the whole bait and switch, but this time it was a dude. So,
So with that being said, because you've been put in that position, is that something you would ever be like open to doing?
No, I don't think so. I think even like for me, even with it, when it comes to the like, I have my OnlyFans that's like very focused on like my solos and stuff like that. I think even with that, I'm a little bit turning the other direction and doing mostly straight stuff, or I should say, mostly stuff that is designed for straight males to look at, I should say.
Okay.
So I'm kind of going the opposite direction right now, where it's like I want to make, and that's just because I think even though I make more money as being like a solo performer, stuff like that, like I don't even show my asshole, to be honest.
Really? I was gonna ask you that. So like doing your solos, like so you don't
put anything in my ass.
Have you ever done anything like that to yourself?
My first time showing my asshole was See Him Fuck. I'd never seen.
No, it's so funny because I know See Him
on there actually.
I know See Him Fuck, and it's kind of like I had this guy Air Thugger on my podcast like 2 years ago, and then after that he shot a scene with See Him Fuck, and I saw it, and it's very much like, it's like they have the girls eating the guy's ass. They have the guys in the most interesting positions ever. Like they're being like bent the fuck girly positions. Yes, and it's like CM Fuck is very much like it's asshole like focus.
Yeah. Oh,
really?
Yeah, definitely.
Yes,
Yeah,
it's like it's not just stuff, but
you had a girl eating your
like
ass
lick
then.
your armpits, you know, like.
Oh my god, yes.
So you got your ass eaten by a girl?
Actually, so the reason why I did, or one of the reasons why I did it is Blake Blossom's a friend of mine, and she's like affiliated with the company, the CM Fuck company, and so I was like, well, I'll do it, but only if you're the performer. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're in Miami, right?
Yeah, they are. Yeah, so I did it with her, so that was pretty fun. And yeah, so that was the first time me showing my asshole, because you know she's like eating you out, you're like all the way open, and so that was my first time ever seeing my own asshole.
Did you know going into that scene, like so you obviously did you like clean your ass out and all that, like, or would you just I didn't wash your ass, obviously?
What is it called?
Douche or nothing. Yeah, but you just like,
he's like, wow, my asshole's really pink.
I shaved it.
He's like, I want this thing nice and pretty.
He's like, wow, my asshole's pretty pink. Oh my god,
this is my first time seeing my asshole, right?
Ever.
And I'd never seen my own asshole.
And
I was like, oh my god,
what's the take on it?
My asshole's fucking amazing. I was like, I'm doing this now to show people this asshole. No, I still don't really want to like.
Start selling asshole pics.
Hey, that's gonna be in the reel right there,
I
dude.
was like, I have the prettiest asshole of any girl or guy.
Would you say
I was like, there's no asshole there. It's all white. It's white all the way down to the bone.
So there's like no pink at all unless
there's nothing.
Oh wow.
That's like what like gay dudes like go, they like bleach their
gay twinks.
They bleach their whole.
I was like, it's already bleached. I thought about that.
It's already pre-bleached.
She's the poster child for bleached assholes.
Go with who was it? Oh yeah, Kenzie Reeves. Me and Kenzie Reeves were gonna go and bleach her asshole together. I was just gonna do it for fun. Like
you're already there.
Like, sir, if you go any more white, you're gonna be fucking.
I never ended up doing. This was during the pandemic. We had nothing else to do. Yeah. I never ended up doing it. But then, like when I saw it, I was like, oh,
this looks fine.
That's so rad. I've never like the response that like, because most people's you're well put together. So it'll be unfortunate if it was like disgusting.
Yeah.
You're like fucking.
Yeah,
like,
if you have like a giant mole, you're like, oh damn.
Or there's like a face down there, like an actual. You're like, that's why people stay away from assholes.
So when you're reaching out to all these porn stars, like what was like the comeback for that? Because I know a lot of porn stars, especially females, when it comes to like working with like, well, at the beginning you were kind of like a fan in a way because you were DMing them. Like you definitely weren't like, you didn't have a following yet.
Yeah.
So you started to like
Good
DM
for
all
you.
these girls. And
Good
so
for
like,
you.
how was like their take? Were they kind of just like very like diva mentality? Like, who the fuck are you? Like, no.
what
Or they're
it
like,
is-
you got to pay me if you want to fuck
No,
me.
what it is, they just don't respond.
Yep.
Like,
They don't say shit.
They don't say anything. So
Joanna Angel still hasn't responded to me.
Joanna.
Where you
Get it
at?
together.
Where you at, girl?
No, I haven't worked with her yet. I'm sure I will eventually. But,
She's beautiful. She's my go-to.
Oh yeah.
She's
like
a squirt at that
middle,
time.
like I noticed this on your bio. Big titties.
Oh yeah. So I'm like doing right now. I'm starting a new OnlyFans. Actually, I'm switching to VIP today because it's been free. But it's like an OnlyFans that's like just me with girls with big tits. So
So it's like a fetish thing for you then.
yeah, for sure. Well, I have like a
Better shit. That would be
no,
boring.
I love the titties. Like I love fake titties. I love real titties. You know, like big titties. I like it. I mean, I like asses too. So it's like I don't know. If anything, it's hard for me to decide. Like, oh, what's my like
is the
go to?
question,
But you can't.
right?
You can't.
This is the magic question.
you
Yes.
can't-
Ass or tits?
He's born in 87. I'm 85.
Okay.
And that's why, see, I already know because he's like, he doesn't know whether to decide between titties or ass because
no.
we are fucking from the titty era.
Yeah.
We're full on titty era. Like, asses didn't start like becoming prominent until like 97,
Until, like,
98.
now.
Like,
No, ass didn't become a thing until like 2000 and something.
Cisco, bullshit, the thong song, 98. That's when asses were starting to get important. And then, like,
Yeah,
trust
but if
me.
you look at the thong song, their asses aren't
There's
even
no,
that big.
there's, I
They're not
know,
even that
there's
big.
no asses, and the girls are like not like there's only titties. Like,
So you're a titty guy then?
No, I mean I'm both, but
you
yeah,
had
I
to
was
pick.
like,
Yeah,
I was
ass
like,
pick for the rest of your
I
life.
mean, I think when it comes to like visually on camera, I'm gonna pick titties, but like in person, in some ways, it's asses. I mean, there's just something about like just doggy, just like the nice round ass, but like visually, if I'm looking at it on camera. So if any, like that's what I was gonna say is like with as far as deciding what it is that I want to do, if I want to do like more solo or if I want to do with boy girl stuff like that, I was like, well, I prefer to look at, I don't watch myself solo, so I'm like, I'm gonna make the thing that I want to watch, you know what I mean? So I'm like,
That's how it
all
is when it
let's-
comes to content. I'm always like, let me put out there what I enjoy watching because if I don't enjoy watching that, I'm not gonna
Yeah.
like make it.
Yeah, you're not gonna have the
It's dumb,
passion
yeah.
for it. So
exactly. It's kind of like
it's like if I'm gonna do a solo, it's like, oh, I don't want to do it. Spends like 8 hours trying to like work myself up to it. You know what I mean?
I hate doing so. That's
But
the
when
one
it's
thing I
like
hate
boy
the
girl,
most.
it's like, yeah, it's cool. You know?
Yeah, I fucking
Let's do
hate
2 a day.
Dude, when I've done solos, I'll have like the camera and then like either like she's like stood behind with the camera or my basketball girlfriend or just like stash the camera or the video like there, so I'm like watching porn above it. That way I'm like not sitting there dicking around. Like no pun intended. But
Yeah, you just put their porn like right next to the camera, so it looks like you're looking at the camera.
I haven't been narcissistic enough to like look at myself in the screen and like.
There are times where like I'll be like looking at myself and I'm like, oh wow,
course.
I look.
Yeah.
I'm like, I
Of
look
course,
hot,
yeah.
and then I just get extra like turned on.
Well, you're fucking hot, so.
Thank you. So how is it doing content versus professional studio porn?
Yeah.
I would say like so with content, for me, I'm a little bit obsessed with making it look good. So like when it comes to
You play director basically.
Yeah, when it comes to lighting, when it comes to angles, when it comes to lenses, when it comes to cameras, when it comes to whatever, I'm like when it comes to editing, I'm like a perfectionist. So I think it takes a lot more out of me doing content in some ways. Whereas when I come to set, it's like I kind of like show up. I might take a nap because there's nothing to do.
Well, yeah, because you're like taking one picture, you're not doing any pretty girl. Like, straight porn is the guys show up. They're like, all right, you're like, fuck.
Oh yeah, what is it like for the straight side
Yeah,
of the
so
porn?
I like show up, so they give me a
So
call
give us like a rundown of like
day, dude. Like, because you're going on set in a little bit. Like,
they give me a call time that's like 2 hours later than the girl, so she's already been there. She woke up at 6 a.m. She's been cleaning her asshole out.
Her call time's at fucking 6, and she's been up since 6 a.m. already. Yeah.
And she's been getting makeup, blah 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 blah. I show up. I show up. I don't have any makeup. Like I don't wear makeup on set. I don't give a shit. Like, I take a nap. She's doing pictures. Blah 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 blah. Like 2 hours later, they're like, and then they do like the video solos with her, blah blah blah, and then I'm just like chilling. and then finally they're like, all right, you go. I just get hard and jump in there.
So then, do you take any photos then or nothing?
No, they don't take any pictures of me. They don't give a shit.
Because on the gay side, both
because like gay porn, like we're all the girls in a sense. They're like, you're a girl, like do some gay shit. You know what I mean? We're taking pictures of all that, but like they only want straight. Look, when I watch straight porn, I want to see the girl, you know? Yeah, I want to see her getting fucking railed, obviously, and hear it.
What about for, like, the gay guys who want to watch straight porn for the guys?
I mean,
do you know what I mean? So it's kind of like...
Fuck. I think that's
the only place to go, then.
So, the basis of CM Fuck, who do we have on Internet Thought? Jordan, yeah. He has, like, 4 names. Middle Eastern Poppy, Internet Thought, anyways. He's, like... He does solo content and some like boy girl stuff on OnlyFans. He's like asking how to get into porn, but he's got a big following on Twitter. He got over 100,000. He's like,
yeah, that's easy. Like if you go to any agency and you're already like sort of making it on your own,
yeah, they'll sign you quickly. Yeah, because they don't have to do any work to build you up, market you, promote you. It's easy run for them. They're like, hey, I got this guy.
That's
like
very much hussy. They just want to sign right away.
Oh my god, dude.
Don't do.
Oh my god.
Tell us.
Now we have. So basically, Hussy reached out to me and they're like, "Oh my god, we want to sign you right away."
So funny.
It was the funniest thing ever because I don't do porn. I don't do anything. But the thing is, I'm always around so many porn stars.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah, you shoot a lot of porn though.
A lot of content, but I'm not like in like signed porn. But like I'm always around my friend Brittany. She's like a big hussy model for them, and so I was like, oh, like this is funny. They're reaching out to me, and I was like, oh, like actually, like sorry to be sure, but I don't do porn. They're like, oh my god, we thought you did. We want to sign you, but yeah, it's funny because like when you have like a big following already, you're right. They just want to sign you right away because they don't have to do any work to build you up.
Well, I don't know. I'm sure Hussy's fine, but like when I first joined, they were trying to sign me on a 7-year contract.
Well, now that you've already been with Hussy,
I was like,
you have to tell us.
7-year contract? Get the fuck out of here, dude. How about 7 months? We'll start off. Like, dude, that's insane.
And they were like, well, it's going to take like 3 years for us to really get you going. I was like, if it takes you 3 years to get me going, I don't want to join.
You're like, I'll get myself going, dude.
3 years?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how they are with girls, but I was like, I'm not doing a 7-year contract. That's too much.
So are you independent?
No, I'm with ATM LA.
ATM LA.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
so like
living in Vegas, love that.
Ass to mouth LA. No, I'm just kidding.
I mean, it's
adult talent managers LA.
So I know like there's like OC modeling. There's like what else is there? Like for like
OC,
the straight
I think
side.
They're pretty good when it comes to working with guys. That's what I've heard. When I first signed, though, they seemed to be going through like a transition period or something like that. So it seemed like they were giving me mixed messages. So I went with ATM LA.
What are the agencies that are vocally just for straight porn? That you know, like so, that are like killing it.
Yeah, there's those 3.
Obviously, your agency.
There's Motley. They have only girls, or they only had girls. I think they signed like 1 guy right now.
Lumi Ray. We met Lumi Ray. We shot with her. She was with Motley. She was a little bummed.
Yeah, they're a pretty big one right now.
They didn't let her do like.
She was bummed because like she's like they're like, all right, you're new. Like she's like wanted to get into it. You know what I mean? Like you got to start at the bottom, honey. You got to do some lesbian porn first, do some girl, and like work your way into it. She was a little bummed about it. Just like, I guess the way she was putting it, like they had a. I saw their roster at the AVN convention. I'm like, God damn, that's a huge fucking roster of hot girls. So I could see how like being new, you kind of got to like earn your worth in a sense, but
does she have a big following already? Because if she does, she can negotiate so much better.
I'm pretty sure she crushes it on OnlyFans because like
like platform wise, like how's like her
I don't know,
because if you have a big like following already, you can negotiate shit. Like I was like my demands were fucking insane because I could demand those things because of my following already, and they were like 100%. That's fine. That's fine. That's
like 500,000 on YouTube, 350 on Instagram.
And so I told them, I was like, listen, like if you sign me, like you're not signing someone to make a sensation. You're signing you're signing me, and I'm already an overnight sensation. Therefore, like
you're gonna make you're like basically. Yeah. She's gonna make a better company just by being with them.
You're not helping me, I'm helping you.
Exactly, and I told Hussy, I was like,
me to accompany.
See, I was like, if I were to sign with you, like I would be giving you my audience as well because now you're running me, and so I'm giving you like a whole new group of audience as well. And then so I was like, with that being said, my scene rate would be extra high than most people, and most of your models, I want like double that because I was like, you're not like filming just anyone, you're filming Elena Genevieve. Like,
well,
there's tons of articles, and they were very like, we can do that. And then I said, and I wasn't gonna do porn, but I was like seeing how far I could go.
Just testing it's funny how you always test the waters, because also Brittany, like your best friend, she's their top trans model, and like there's no need to do that. Like she's like, we love Brittany, and like that would just, there's so much competition in the industry as it is, you know what I mean? But like I love how you always test the limits, and you're like, damn, I could really get that.
I just want to see like how far I can go. And so I was kind of like, as for male model talent, I want to pick who I work with.
Yeah.
And I was like, can I do that? Because usually I'm just like, here's your scene partner for the day.
Yeah. Never picked a scene partner in my life.
And they're like,
Blake for CM Fuck, but that's because you're focused on the guy. So
yeah.
Since if they're focused on me, I get to choose the girl.
Yeah.
But other than that, no, I don't get to choose.
Yeah. So I was like, can I pick? I told them I wasn't kind of just like, it wasn't me asking, can I get a higher rate? Can I get like my scene partner? Can I pick them? I was demanding. I was like, I want to be able to pick my scene partners. I want a higher rate because this is who I am, and you're signing me. I'm already a fucking legend, and if you want me, these are what I require. And they were down for everything, and I was like, damn.
Well,
so
that's the thing. No, here's the thing: they take a percentage. So if you say I want 10,000 for my first scene, they're like, okay.
They get a percentage of that as well. Yeah.
So they let you raise your rate as high as you want.
But I know some models, they can't even have their rates high.
Yeah, here's the thing, though: like if you raise your rate, you get less work. So
that's true. Yeah,
you have to find that.
You
got to work in volume.
There's like,
and with OnlyFans right now, like in some ways, if you're gonna make, let's say you're making $2,000 a day on OnlyFans, you don't really want your rate to be much lower than $2,000 because you get some exposure, but you're kind of losing money when you're on set. So people's rates have started to like creep up. You know what I mean?
So would you say?
I have noticed that actually. My rate's been going up, and I told all the guys I used to escort with, I'm like, look, because like, for example, it's just like basic like marketing. Like if you have 3 fucking taco shops and they're all selling tacos for $2, and then they all up it to $4, everyone's gonna be okay with paying $4 before when they were okay with paying $2. So it's like, if everybody's like, hey, I want $1,500 a scene. Every guy's like that. Eventually, that's going to become the norm, and it's going to go, because like I know back in the fucking 80s, dude, they were getting $1,000 a scene, and $1,000 back in the 80s
was everything,
dude. $1,000 that's like 10 racks, dude. That's a lot of money, and so like, I mean, they're still paying $1,000 a scene.
Yeah, I've heard the stories of like around 2000 where money was just flowing like crazy because there was no such thing as Pornhub. Like you could not get porn for free.
Access it like that.
You had to pay for porn. There wasn't an option.
But now it's kind of like OnlyFans is there, so now everyone's like independent with their own porn.
Yep.
That's why everybody keeps talking about that. That's because I was trying to make the connect with like why everyone's talking about the shift of the industry. You know what I mean? Because it makes sense. Now there's so many platforms where you have access. You have fucking Adult Time. You have fucking Pornhub. You have all these different places where you can find so much porn. Whereas before. And then obviously you can make your own porn now too very easily. You couldn't just no one could just go make their own porn back in the day and be like, here, I'm gonna put on a videotape.
Yeah, you need a $5,000 camera.
Yeah, like you can't just put on a fucking videotape. So
like before it was it was like a high rate because kind of like it was so rare to find, but now it's kind of the rate's just getting lower because like it's so accessible anywhere. And like an Instagram model, you think she's hot? Oh, she doesn't do porn, but she does content. Yeah, so it's kind of like,
and then her fucking. And dude, these Instagram girls are making so much. Who like this girl Selena Powell? I fucking don't know how she makes so much money like that. And she's hot, but she's the girl that fucks all the rappers and then name drops them and like super hot chick. But like all these Instagram models, they'll build it up on Instagram and then they have the big drop on OnlyFans and they're like bringing in $50K in one night. I'm like,
yeah. So with that being said, do you think it's better in the porn industry to like have a good rate? Like a high rate or a smaller rate?
Like I said, when it comes to OnlyFans, so if you are making a bunch of money doing content, then you kind of want to, because if let's say you lower your rate and then you work every single day, right? But you're making less than you would have made if you made content.
Yeah.
It makes no sense. So it just depends on how much you're making on your own. And in some ways, I personally would say keep your rate high and make content even if you're not making money with it yet, because you will eventually. Like you'll learn how to do it, and then you'll make money, and you can make way more money than any agency will or any company will ever pay you on set. So then go to set for fun because it's a little bit relaxing and a little bit of exposure, but make your money through the content.
So I had this girl Trisha, and she was telling me like she mainly does porn to get her name out there. Yeah. But then her main source kind of just like, she was telling me, she was like, her rate isn't that high because she's just doing porn to get her name out there. And then she sells all her shit on OnlyFans. So like, is that a like better way of like looking at it as well?
For girls, for guys, like you can do 1,000 scenes and nobody will have ever heard your name. Because you're doing POV scenes, you're doing VR scenes. You know what I mean? Nobody even sees your face.
They're just using you for your body and your dick.
You're a fucking prop. You got a great dick.
Yeah. So you're not getting your name out there that much, except for like if you did see him fucking, you're doing like solo stuff. But you're not getting your name out there that much if you're a guy. So, but if you're a girl, there's a lot of even just like regular Instagram girls who are like, I'm gonna do a browser scene. You know what I mean? Like they've never done pro porn and they're making, I don't know, 100, 200,000 a month on OnlyFans, and you know, browsers might pay them just a few thousand. They're probably making more if they did OnlyFans. But when you're on a browser's ad scene and you're on Pornhub ads, everybody who goes to Pornhub sees you right there.
You're on the
you know what I mean?
You're on the
So that you can get a lot of exposure as a girl if you do that.
So, do you think it's kind of biased for girls to just be more successful in porn then?
For straight porn, yeah, for sure.
So, because you're saying because you were saying how like it's so inclusive to everyone.
Well,
I said sex work is inclusive to everybody.
Straight porn, the girl is going to make more money than the guy. That's just how it's going to be.
Yeah.
Sex work in general the girl's going to benefit it no matter what.
Well, there's
escorting, taking clients.
Yeah.
Because like I feel like in this adult life, it's all the main audience is mainly men. To target men.
There's no women. 95 to 99% men. Yeah.
And so it's kind of like girls will always thrive more in the adult life because they're girls and like the key audience is just men. Do you think it's biased that way where it's kind of just like fuck, like girls just have it better?
You can say it like that, but it's also, I mean, when you look at certain people, like let's say Kieran Lee or some big male names in porn who have sex with every single #1 star, they're going to make money, you know what I mean? Because people are going to go buy their scene, but they're still not going to make the kind of money that you make when you're like sitting there like sexting some dude who's, you know, dropping 1,000 on you a day, you know what I mean? Like, when it comes to like let's say you're doing gay porn, you know, guys watch gay porn, so like you said,
caters to guys again.
Even if it's guys watching, you know, so if you're doing gay porn, then yeah, you can make a lot of money as well.
So do you think that's the same like for straight male talent as well, or no?
That they're not going to make as much. Well, I mean, you can do some solo stuff. But I don't know. I just, in some ways, that's one of the reasons why I'm like, well, I mean, I can do solo, but I'm never really going to match the people who are just like, you know, especially when it comes to collaborations. Like there's gay guys and they have like a collaboration with 4 other top gay guys. You know what I mean? So it's like they can bring in a lot of money that way. Whereas if I'm not doing that, there's like a limit that you can make.
Yeah. So like hearing that, you're kind of just like, damn, like maybe I should just like tap into like maybe something, because I've seen some guys that do gay baiting.
Yeah, I was gonna mention that, the gay baiting. Have you ever never done the gay baiting?
I mean, yeah, it's in some ways it's
kind of like they kind of just get with guys. They kind of just like jack off together in the same seat. See him fuck is very much like that. Like
I mean,
it's gay bait, but they never really do anything with each other.
Yeah. In some ways, it's like all gay baiting, and even when you do like a boy girl, like 2 guys and a girl, like they'll like the people in my OnlyFans, they'll be asking me like, do 2 guys and a girl, do 2 guys and a girl. I'm like, I mean, I'll do it, but it's like that's not really my thing, you know. Yeah. Like I don't even like gangbangs that much, where it's like all dudes, you know what I mean? Like, even what is it called? The blow bangs. Like I've done blow bangs.
It's
where there's like
fucking 20
a bukkake, basically.
Yeah, well, it's blow bangs a little bit different.
Like you're jacking off, and there's like 20 other dicks around you. You're like,
and you're just like looking out with this one girl.
You see the girl, like you like see the girl's ankle. You're like, oh yeah, it's a hot ankle.
Like, move over, bro. I gotta ask you how, like, being in a blow bang, and so those guys are all straight, right? For the most part, is there any gay, that's all straight dudes?
Yeah.
Is that uncomfortable?
Yeah, it's a little bit, but I've actually had a dude come on my leg before.
I'm sorry, what?
Accidentally?
A dude came on me accidentally.
He accidentally.
This was a 5 guy blow bang. No,
how did you take that? Like, how did you?
It was instantly soft. Really? We're all supposed to come about the exact same time, right? Mm-hmm. So he's way over in the corner, like, and he comes running up, and I'm sitting right. I'm about to jack off. He comes running up, and it hits my leg, and then it just, and I was like, yeah, I was just like, we're cutting this. I'm like cutting.
It's
like, I was like, I'm not going to be able to come for a minute.
It's so like when
I was like, I need to go wash this off. I'm going to be in the bathroom for 5 minutes.
Just like, oh my
reset
God.
my brain.
Yeah,
I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna come on her, because if you don't come, you don't get paid. So I'm gonna come back. and I'm gonna come
that's how it
face.
is. That's insane.
So straight side, if you don't come, you don't get paid, or is that just for a blow bang?
There's some people who will let you do a fake cum shot. But
it's not good.
Because I was like, I've seen a lot of porn where they do fake cum shots.
Yeah, for the most part, if you're in like a gangbang, blowbang, or whatever, they'll say that. I don't know if it's true or not. I've never seen anybody not be able to come.
Yeah.
But they'll say if you don't come, you don't get paid.
Fuck, that's a motivation.
I guess it's kind of like when you're focusing on like the main thing that's kind of just like dick. Like the girl sucking the dick.
There's so many dicks there, yeah.
It's all kind of just like to get the guy to nut. So it's kind of like I can see why they would do it that way.
Well, I mean, just being like, because like I tell Elena this all the time. Like, when I shoot with a gay guy, like I'm very comfortable because they're gay. You know what I mean? But like, if I have to like do like semi-gay or even just be around a straight guy that's like fucking not into that at all, I'm so uncomfortable because I'm like, fuck, maybe they know.
I know, and I find it so funny.
You know, but I'm not like checking out dudes, but I'm just like, I'm like, how does that operate? Because like standard like high school, college gym room, like some like wrestling or football squads, they will dick around and stuff like that. But like for the most part, like it's pretty straightforward. Like you get dressed, you get dressed out, but like you're not like fucking playing with each other's dicks. You're not staring at each other. That's just standard what straight guys do. And so I'm just like trying to like go into that headspace of like being in a blow bang with a bunch of straight guys and like trying to stay hard in that, like, and it's all dicks there. Like how like the mental strength that Sam Shock has to be able to fucking,
like I said, you have to be able to jack off to an ankle.
An ankle.
Yeah. Well, she loves feet.
I do. So
She
kind of
loves
like
feet.
I'll just be looking at everyone's like on the floor like this. Like,
There's been times where she's like looks at my foot to come.
Oh, nice.
Like it's not. I'm like,
Yeah.
it's not me. She's like, no, I need the foot. I'm like,
Yeah.
That's cool.
it's just hotter. It's just like it's like a masculine arm and hand, but like an elongated, enlarged version of it. So it's kind of like it's like
No. I actually found out that the foot thing is that in your brain.
Oh my god, yes, please tell me.
There's like
break it down for
in
me.
your brain, the section for feet and the section for genitalia are right next to each other. So for some people, they get crossed.
oh my.
Mine is like twisted, braided, and like super glued together at the end.
So
fucking 3/4
like
rope.
for me, like if I see a vagina, I'm like, oh yeah, you know what I mean. But like for other people, when they see feet, it's the exact same sensation.
Why is that? Why is that?
That's how it is for you, for sure. That's 100%. Your shit's twisted.
It is because like dick is like nothing to me, but like a nice looking feet is like the equivalent to kind of like a nice looking dick. So I'm kind of just like, wow, that's so crazy.
Yeah.
Is that like scientifically proven or?
Yeah, as far as I know. I mean, I just found out about it a few months ago, but you know.
Dude, I'm gonna read into that. That's a great thing.
And I want to read into.
I love understanding the brain and like how humans
Well, everyone's
work
brain
with sex.
works differently, though.
I know, but that's the beautiful
Yeah,
part because we're all
that's the thing.
individual with
Some
that.
people say like feet is one of the biggest fetishes that there is, and so the question is
Feet
always
fetish.
Yeah, so the question has always been like, why? Like, you know, like why isn't it the pinky finger? Like why?
Or why isn't it hands?
Why?
Like
Yeah.
why isn't it hands? Why does it have to be
I look
like?
at my foot and I'm like okay.
Why does it have to be
Yeah.
feet?
But if I look at a vagina or
Yeah.
like a naked woman, I'm like, or so here's my how it goes for me. If I see a pair of titties, like a beautiful woman, with nice tits, hard.
Yeah.
Then it's pussy. If I see them both, immediate.
Yeah.
But then like for me, I'm just different as a man because like I have kids. I'm attracted to women, but like I do have a fetish for dick in the sense I see a dick, I'm like, it's always interesting to me. So
Yeah.
that turns me on also.
Yeah.
But I'm not like thinking about dudes like, oh, I want to fuck some dude ass tonight.
Yeah.
Like, that's not what it's about. It's just an interesting thing why I have a fetish with dick. I don't know why.
I have a fetish for feet. Like I wouldn't fucking actually. No, I lie. I was gonna say like, oh, I don't need it to come, but sometimes like
you do. You're gonna be on set. And they're like, okay, Elena, we need you to come. You're like,
I'm like,
you're like, all right.
I'm like,
where's,
everybody's shoes off.
Yeah, shoes off now. You're like,
No, I think that's the thing. It's fine. Like I've been on enough sets with enough guys that like because with girls they just fake their cum or whatever. But I've been on a set with enough guys. Everybody has their own
That's
thing.
the shit. Like, so here's the deal: the girls get paid the most in straight porn, and at the coming. Oh, I'm squirting. Like, come on, girls. We know the trick. We all know the trick.
What is your trick to coming on set?
My trick to coming on set is grabbing my phone and fucking getting the build up, and I'm like, okay, I'm getting close, and then I'll fucking and then bust my nut. You know, I haven't. There was one, but it wasn't guys. So yeah, with guys I haven't been able to. She told me the other day I was shooting content with this guy. She's like, "Don't shame yourself, Alpha. Don't. You can come to a guy." I'm like, I almost did. I'm like, and I fucking stopped myself. Just I don't know why. She saw it too. She's like, "Don't shame yourself." I'm like, "You're gonna fucking make fun of me." That's fucking.
I was like, if it feels good, just fucking do it.
If your priest can do it,
Yeah. if my
pastor or whatever.
If my Pentecostal pastor casting out demons of homosexuality can do it, I certainly can. It's an interesting life's a trip, you know, how we like you like I look at your appearance and like growing up, like you seem like you were a pretty good kid, like you had a pretty good, you didn't get in trouble, like you seem very.
I was I was like, that's the thing is like I was like so like, oh, I have to follow the Bible, and then you look around and you see everybody else, you're like, follow the Bible.
You look like you look like you could be a fucking pastor, dude.
Yeah,
you really have that vibe. It's a trip for me because like you're like, and like hearing that your parents,
like a deacon, you know?
They would never know. Your parents would never know what you do because they're so like devout Christians in that sense that they wouldn't.
I have 7 siblings, and I feel like I don't know which ones know, but I know
some of them know. They're just not going to out you.
Like worried that they're going to snitch on you or no?
Why would they? He's too. Why would you snitch on such a good guy?
Yeah.
No, because like like
he's a fucking good
like
guy.
Siblings are kind of just like I'm gonna fucking.
Wait, no. I know 3 of them know. I feel like if my older sister knew, she'd snitch.
No, because my sister knows what I do. I sometimes wonders like, is she gonna go tell mommy?
Yeah, well, we know what Sissy does too, so.
There you go. I have to find dirt on her.
Exactly. Then you just have it ready for like blackmail.
Always have that backup on somebody, right? Okay, so dude, how many scenes have you shot?
Ooh, and how long have you been in it?
Yeah. What's entry day or entry year, and then how many scenes?
Yeah, it's probably been like 4.5 years now.
Okay.
Since I just started doing pro, I've probably done.
So right before COVID, like a year before COVID.
No, it was. Wait, so 20. No, so yeah. Never mind. So it'd be like 5 years.
2018.
Damn.
Yeah. So 2018 is when I started.
So you've officially like that's like you don't have like I always look at porn like you got your freshman year, your sophomore, like once you like graduate,
you're
like,
an alumni.
You're alumni. Like you're officially like you're in your 5th year. Like you're officially.
I mean,
like
I just took 6 months off though. So like this is today is gonna be my first pro scene back.
Welcome back.
Since August 10th.
Oh wow.
Maybe that's why we haven't seen him.
Yeah,
I know, right?
Where's the new
I disappeared. And before that, I was only doing 1 scene a week because my ex just didn't want me to shoot pro, so I just quit.
So no relationship right now. You're single.
Yeah, I'm single now.
So how is dating?
Yes,
that's what I love to get into. I always ask. We always ask every porn that comes on, like, how is it juggling your dating life? So
I didn't date. No
girlfriends.
I didn't date for the entire time up until I've dated one girl before my ex, this last ex, for like 2 months, and this one for a year. But before that, I didn't date. Like, I didn't do a single date.
So I just being since you were in the industry, you did have a partner or girlfriend while you were shooting porn.
Well, yeah, for like 6 months.
What was that like?
And was she in it as well, or was she kind of just regular?
She did OnlyFans, but she just didn't really like it, so I just kind of quit.
At first, she was like into it, and she's like, I can deal with it. But
at first she was like, oh yeah, it's cool or whatever, and then like, but then it would be like, well, I don't want to see you if you work today or stuff like that, and then it was like, okay, I guess I'll cut back, you know what I mean? And then she was like, you have to quit, and I was like, okay. And
so what'd you do after when you quit? Because like, you went from making that much money to like now what were you doing?
I just tried to do solos and stuff like that and camming by myself, and it just. My money was, and now I'm broke now.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Like not feeling good about yourself. Yeah. You're like, fuck. Like, why am I feeling down and out? Like when you were like super motivated. Because when a man's bank account is high, our fucking motivation's high, our confidence is high. We're ready to fucking go out and kill the world.
Yeah.
Like literally, my dick's bigger than the world when I know my bank account is continuing to grow. Like right now, but if I know that I'm like in deficit or like. You know, there might be something happening where I overspent, like, or I know my money's not coming in or scenes aren't coming in. I'm like, we are very driven. Men are very driven on like our success in finances.
We define ourselves with our career.
100%.
Girls will say, "Oh, I need to take a minute to find myself. I need to take a time off from my career, or whatever." Whereas guys, like for me, it's like when we ended the relationship, I'm like, I'm gonna find myself with my career. Like I'm gonna go all in. You know what I mean? Like that's how we find ourselves.
Yeah, that's like what's ingrained in a man, like as a masculine approach. Like we like have to like fucking go out and seek it and like devour. Like there's like an aspect of wanting to just fucking consume what is in front of us and like be the best and like
we like to consume and destroy everything.
Seek, destroy, and kill. Fuck yeah, you know what I mean? Like talking about that gets me riled up. I'm like, fuck yeah, like
that's why we like to come on girls. We just want to destroy pretty things.
She's like, don't come on my lashes. They're like, what? Oh, quick thing about lashes. I don't know if you guys knew this. Lashes were actually invented back in the 1920s as eye guards for prostitutes.
For cum?
For cum.
Really?
Yep.
Well, I mean, yeah, they're cum umbrellas.
So what? That's exactly what they're called. Cumbrellas. And so when I see girls with big lashes, I know what you like.
I know what you like.
You like cum in your face.
Or,
Hate it. I don't let anyone, like, during sex, anyone before, I don't let anyone go from my neck up. Don't kiss me. Don't do anything because, like, this is my money maker. So the minute that this gets ruined, I just look trashy.
It's like the Wizard trying to talk to the Wizard of Oz. Like, nobody, no house coming on this face. I'm like, can I just...
That's fine. As long as you have, like, either good tits or good ass will come there. That's fine.
Exactly, that's fine. But, like, I know a lot of
All
people...
you have is a pretty face and you're kind of a stick.
Yeah.
We got to come in your face.
I'm sorry. Mike. Whoops.
No, but for me, I got both. I got the whole fucking package.
You have great feet. You have great legs, great body, ass.
Exactly, and the face just a cherry on top.
And the girl dick is just like...
It's perfect. But, so it's kind of like, that's how it is. Like, I don't let anyone destroy the art. Because I've seen porn where it's kind of like the guys are face fucking the girls. Yeah. And they're like, mascara's running, their lipstick is weird. And I'm like...
That's a fetish, though, too. Some guys really like to just...
Before and after, yep.
And I'm just kind of like...
Pretty, and then the mascara is dripped across. Sometimes I saw one girl. I'm
not into that. I don't think it's hot.
Dude, this one girl I used to follow on OnlyFans. She tripped me out. She just disappeared. But like these fucking before and afters, like she was one that liked to get beat up. You know, and I'm like, this can't be real. But it sure enough is. I don't even know if she's alive anymore because she might have got beat up so bad.
Is
but
that
like,
even allowed on OnlyFans?
I think I know what girl you're talking about.
I think her name's Lydia Black. Is it Lydia Black?
No, I think she's still around.
Is Lydia Black still around?
I think so.
Okay.
But it might be somebody else.
Okay, but
Not allowed on OnlyFans?
No.
How was she like doing
is
it
super
then?
strict.
Yeah, so how was she going about
You do it
that?
on
Dark
Fansly
fans
or whatever.
Yeah, Fansly. Okay. They have.
I don't know all the names of them, but different ones allow different things.
I know the poop one is Dark Fans.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Literally.
Ooh, shit.
Shit. No, because Jessie Dubai was telling me how her fans are always wanting her to do fucking scat stuff, and so OnlyFans shut that down real quick, and they started Dark Fans. But people will pay a lot of money for scat play for poop stuff.
Again, it's taboo. Like when things are like it's off limits, they kind of go out of the way to kind of like seek it. It's kind of like it's very taboo. Like, oh, we can't do poop play. Well, now I'm gonna pay a little extra just to see what it looks like.
Like that's a 40.
Curious and they're sick.
Well, I mean, it would be as simple as like how many. I take a shit sometimes a couple times a day, dude. Like, you know how many times I could just be like filming myself pooping, putting on my Dark Fans, and like they're just eating it up.
Literally.
But yeah, I mean,
would you ever do poop play?
No.
Scat play?
Honestly, I don't even really do because a lot of guys want to see you pee. I don't even do that.
Oh my god, I love that. I love getting pissed on. That's like my thing.
For sure.
I love it. I love it.
Thing, huh? Is you feel like, but
yeah, let's get it from like two straight males. Like, what is that like? Like, what does peeing on a pretty girl do for you?
Oh man, I don't know. Yeah, I think it definitely is like a power thing. Like it's just something about. Yeah, I mean, it's probably the same as a lot of fetishes where it's like a little bit taboo or something like that. So you're like, oh yeah.
Sometimes it's almost like you don't even know why you want to do it. It's same with when I take my dog for a walk. He doesn't have to go to the bathroom, but he's just peeing on stuff.
Yeah.
Because he's just doing it. And they're like, so like, for example, and you've seen me do it. You'll be in the shower and down there, and I'll just walk up, and I'm like, you're like, no, don't like. I'm like, but I'm just like, and I can do it so easily.
I had just freshly bathed myself. You know what I mean?
I feel like even probably when you're a kid, you're like, I want to go pee on stuff.
Yeah, that's what, dude. I know. I got more excited about peeing outside when I was a kid. Yeah. I just had a flashback. I used to do weird shit like that. Yeah. I would like go pee on stuff when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Like run around the backyard to go pee on things. What the fuck?
So is it kind of like a
That's how you know you're a fucking man right there.
Like is it kind of like a marking your territory thing, or kind of just like?
I mean, because we like definitely not. I mean, marking your territory.
It's like misogynistic. Yeah, it's like oh, am I claiming? But it's like
a little bit. I feel like a little bit. It's like that masculine kind of just like, this is mine. Yeah, got my piss all over it. You know,
in some ways, probably similar to wanting to come on a girl. You know.
Yeah.
So,
it's like a longer cum shot.
Yeah, there you go. It's a long cum shot.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's interesting how like after you come, you have to usually pee. You know, you can pee really easily. Yeah. So I think that's there for a reason, to come on a girl and then to wash it off gracefully and as a gentleman with pee. Yeah, and then that's what a gentleman would do, right?
That's a brilliant idea. I love that. I love that so much. I support that decision 100%. I don't know why I didn't think about that before, but I support it.
Every girl after I come.
Okay, is that what they do?
That's gonna be my new thing.
Let me bathe you with my piss.
If you use that, just make sure you've like Alpha Wolf told me.
Yeah,
let me bathe you with my piss after.
It's so
after every scene, they're gonna get in the shower anyway.
Yeah, you're like, you know
Let me
what?
pee
You
on
might
you.
as well. Like, can we just pull the camera?
Yeah, just set the camera up.
Yeah, let's.
You know?
It's just if OnlyFans allowed to piss play, my shit would just be devoured in that stuff. Like I told him, I was like,
posting content every day. I pee a lot.
I know. I would just want to be. I want to have like a bukkake, but instead of cum, it's just piss. Now that's like that would be so fun for me. I don't know why. Like this.
You would need to definitely have like a kiddie pool set up because like all that amount of
course.
urine, like or do it. We'd have to sneak you into a fucking bathhouse. Like, what's going on here? Is that a girl? Like, no, it's just the boy with the wig, I swear.
That's giving me like a reminder. I did this scene, and there's one of the girls in this. It was like a 3-girl scene, and one of the girls was.
So like, it was you and 3 other girls.
Yeah, and one of the girls was like super into piss, and there was this really cool bathtub, like in the I think it's like the Cosmo or something, and it's like right in the middle of the room. And so after the scene,
beautiful rooms, yeah.
they were like holding their piss. They were trying not to squirt and stuff like that, so that they could all pee in her at the same time.
In her?
On her, yeah.
Yeah.
So there was another girl there too. So there was 3 girls. She got in the bathtub, and all 3 girls went over there and all peed on. No camera or anything, just because she wanted to get peed on. And then
she loved it. She was just like,
she's just like going like this in the bathtub with all the pee.
Dude, I know, no, like that. Like, there's gay men that do
I
the same
wouldn't ever
thing.
play with piss though. Like trust me, when it's on me, the minute that it hits the floor, I'm like, that's disgusting. Like I'm like, that's fucking gross. I'm not gonna fucking like tap the piss and play with it. Like the minute that it hits the floor, I'm like, that's wash that bitch down. But if it's on me, I'm like, yes.
It's so for you, it's like you're like, oh, it's like this guy. It's warm. Like
yes, it's kind of like the idea behind that.
It is sanitary. Like it doesn't have.
Oh, it's very sanitary.
Yeah,
for
it
sure.
doesn't have any bacteria or anything.
No,
it has
it just
way
stinks.
less than water does.
Yeah.
Once it's touched the floor, then it's not. So
I'm like, I'm not gonna scoop that and pour it on myself. I'm like, I'm not in love with pee like that. It's kind of just like when it's coming out of the dick. I feel like that's when like it's hot. Kind of just like, okay, this man's peeing on me. That's hot.
What was that thing that Ryan and Anthony Duran were telling us about the piss play with the guys that are in recovery? What do they call it? So these guys that are like gay guys that are super into piss play, because meth is a big thing in like the gay side. Like there's a lot of GHB, a lot of drugs are used on the gay side. And anyways, a lot of people are sober now too, but they used to do a lot of meth. But they call it, what do they call it? A fucking free lapse.
I'm sorry, what?
They call it a free lapse because some people they'll be doing so much meth, and then when they pee, it's all your toxins, and so they'll be drinking the pee, and they actually get high.
So gross.
No, I've
it's
actually
called
heard that, like,
It's chem play.
Yeah,
Called chem
I've heard
play.
something like 99% of your meth comes out in your pee.
Yeah.
So you can just keep
That's
on
what they piss-
drinking
that's
pee
what,
and
drug
fucking
testing
taking meth.
Yeah,
I've heard that.
And so I mean,
But is it the same though? Because I feel like that's going in your digestive system now.
it's absolutely
Is it
it's still
the
going
same?
into your bloodstream, just in a different way. You can get high differently if you ingest like weed gummies. You eat some weed gummies, your high is gonna be way different than if you hit a vape. It's ingesting something affects you differently. The body and the brain work differently that way.
It goes different places.
No, I remember seeing like this. I'm talking about a kiddie pool, like this fucking Folsom Street Fair bullshit. Like, hey, Alpha, you going to the Folsom Street Fair? I'm like, what is that? Fucking. If you guys know what I'm sure some of the guys on here watching this shit, when it's the Folsom Street Fair, is this the biggest like fetish kinky fucking. They
Like a
shut.
convention or what
It's
is
in
it?
no. It's the Folsom Street Fair. So it's in San Francisco. They shut down Folsom Street, and it's the biggest leather and kink event. And it's pretty much all gay people, but people are fucking decked out from head to toe in bondage gear.
And they're peeing on each other in public?
Oh, there's people fucking on the streets everywhere. My ex TS Jane, she's telling me how she got fucking dick down right on the corner of the street when everybody's watching, like just putting on a show. And I'm like, bullshit. So I fucking Googled this shit. Oh my God, there was a kiddie pool set up, and there's a guy in there. There'd be like 3 people just fucking. This is the kiddie pool, and these guys are all pissing on this guy. It wasn't like he was like literally like. Like fucking throwing this fucking piss all over him, rolling around in it like it was fucking like God's greatest gift. I'm like, this is the fucking. It was wild, dude. So this is, I mean, shout out to all the fucking guys that go that far. I mean, I could never do that, but like, I love to watch it. It's very entertaining. We're gonna watch it.
I like watching people enjoy themselves. You know.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm not kink shaming. I'm like, but you know what? I used to kink shame like
In public though, are you sure?
I'm 100%.
In public, isn't that kind of like public indecency?
Oh no, but this is shut
Wait,
down.
where was this at?
This is called the Folsom Street Fair.
San Francisco.
Yeah, San Francisco.
Every
You can do
year.
whatever the fuck you want.
It's San Francisco.
But
Don't-
it's
don't they do the
public
naked bike ride?
indecency.
Bro, you can shit and
Isn't
I
that
could.
that's like a sex offender charge, isn't it?
No,
Maybe.
but don't they do the naked bike ride? in
Yeah,
San
they do.
Francisco?
Yes, they
Yeah.
do. You
What
can
the
You
fuck?
can
Like-
be in San Francisco.
in the streets of San Francisco. I can take you to the Tenderloin. As soon as we crossed the border of the city into the Tenderloin, I could fucking do a shot of heroin and take a shit while you give me Blumpkin in the middle of the street, and nobody is gonna fucking bat an eye at you. They're gonna be like,
is that normal?
They would bat an eye at you if you walk by dressed normally. Like San Francisco on the streets is wild. Comment below if you know what I'm talking about. I have seen some fucking, like, literally guy walking down, pulls his pants down while he's walking and shitting, wipes his ass with his hand, throws it. I'm like, fucking welcome to San Francisco. That was the San Francisco treat. I thought it was rice-a-roni, but it was that dude taking the shit on the shit. It's wild. So yeah, I was gonna pull it up. I'll show you.
Yeah, if you do that in LA,
show me. I want to see that.
You're gonna get in trouble. But San Francisco.
Oh, of course, but it's in California still.
I heard that on Santa Monica Boulevard, the cops aren't even fucking with the homeless anymore. They're literally shitting in the public now too. Like a guy that I shot with the other day is like, I work on Santa Monica Boulevard as a leasing agent, and he's like, people are literally shitting in the streets. Yeah. Like the mental illness is intense.
Yeah, it's gotten pretty bad.
I don't know what fucking drug the government's passing out in Skid Row, but like,
no, it's so bad in Santa Monica. Like LA to me is like it's used to be really pretty, but then now whenever I go there, I'm like, damn, that's gonna be a tough one.
Every time I come back to LA, I'm like, oh yeah, this is why I left.
So you were Sam Perfect Body.
Yeah.
I was just asking you that. Tell us what that was about, because for the longest time I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna have like Sam's Perfect Body on here, Sam Perfect Body, and that's when I remember you as.
Oh yeah.
And then he was like something like Perfect Body, and I was like, I'm not saying he has a perfect body, I'm saying his handle.
Yeah.
That's his like actual handle. Because he was like, you think his body's perfect? You think his body's perfect? Like perfect body? And I'm like, no, like that's his Instagram handle. So Sam Perfect Body. What was that? Like, how'd you get that name?
So when I
versus now you going into Sam Shock?
When I first started with camming, I would cam with my girlfriend at the time, so like because she was a cam girl. That's kind of how I initially started, and so I would just join her on cam, and people kept saying, "You have a perfect body." That's what people kept saying every single time. And so when after we broke up and I created my own handle, I was like so sick of people saying the same thing every single time that I just named myself Sam Perfect Body. Mm-hmm. But then people wouldn't read the whole. They thought my name was Samper because they wouldn't read the whole thing.
Samper Body.
So they just would read Samper, and so they'd still come into the chat and say, "You have a perfect body." I was like, "That's the name." I don't know. Did
you ever get backlash for being like narcissist or anything? Yeah, like you cocky little fuck.
People, like, I don't know. For me, I'm like my biggest critic. I don't think I have a perfect body. I think I'm like, it's like okay, and I see like all the flaws. You know what I mean? So in some ways, it's like. I didn't even think of somebody being like, oh, you're like narcissistic, you think you have a perfect body. I was like, to me it was just like a joke, you know what I mean? I was like, it was just I mean, it's marketing too, you know what I mean? So if you have a handle, and even if that comes to like if you're like have an OnlyFans that says Sam Perfect Body or something, and the only thing that they see is the handle, they don't see like your name or whatever, and they see Sam Perfect Body, they're like, I mean, click on that. You know what I mean? So
now I want to see.
It's a little bit marketing.
How perfect this guy's body really is.
You know? Yeah, so it's like a marketing thing. But yeah, when I started with pro porn, I had to do my I had to create a last name. Like I asked my agent, I was like, well, can I be Sam Perfect? He goes, no. I go, why? He goes, you're not perfect. And I was like, oh, okay.
Humbled you real quick. Oh my god.
And I was like, all right, I'll come up with something. But yeah,
how'd you get Shock?
I had a dream where my name was Sam Shock, and then I forgot the dream.
That's the start of a speech. I had a dream.
No, and then I forgot the dream.
And the best porn star was ever born.
Yeah.
And then I forgot the dream, and then my agent called me. He was like, "Do you have your name yet?" I'm like, "I have it." But I forgot it, and I'll have the dream a second time. And then I had the dream a second time.
So what was it? What was this dream?
I had the same dream again.
Repetitive dream, or was this like?
Yeah, it was the same dream, and my name was Sam Shock, and I was like, my name's Sam Shock.
It was just meant to happen. Wow.
But yeah, when I first started, I still had my handle on Twitter as Sam Perfect Body, and yeah, I did have some issues with some of the girls because you know they get my name on the call sheet, and first thing I do is they look at my Twitter and like, oh, you're fucking narcissistic, blah 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 blah. You know, and then I'm canceling. I don't want to work with him. You know what I mean? So I just changed my name because of that reason.
Sam Shock.
Yeah, if people don't get the joke, so whatever.
I mean, it's like a catchy name though, because like I remember when I saw it, I was kind of like Sam Perfect Body. Like I did think I was like, what a fucking narcissist.
Don't you hate when you have something that's like resonates so well with yourself that's fucking hilarious and it makes so much sense to you, and then you try to deliver it and everyone's like, Like, I swear to God, I'm not like that. And I'm like, really? Okay, like that didn't land well. Yeah.
I didn't think you were a narcissist. I'm just like, he really is so full of himself. He thinks he's that perfect.
He's actually not. He's very humble.
Oh, of course. Now meeting him, I'm just like, oh wow.
I like I said, I'm like my biggest critic. I'm like, I have like so many flaws.
So do you put a lot of work in the gym then?
I almost never go to the gym, to be honest.
Really?
Yeah, I go to the gym like 45 minutes every other day. That's about it.
Well, that's pretty. I mean,
what about like back then to build your perfect?
Yeah, I used to go every day, but I mean, I was never like. For me, it's more of like as far as like having a good-looking physique is more about like your everyday. So,
it's like your diet mainly, isn't
it's
it?
It's like for me, I do keto, so that keeps like a slim and also keeps you with enough protein. But like if you're,
do you like as far as carbs go? Like, do you like?
Oh, I don't.
No carbs at all.
Carbs at all. No.
So
zero
just
carbs.
Zero carbs.
Yeah, if you do it for long enough, your body starts to learn
Adapt
how to run
to
on
it.
fat.
Because I know when you first do keto, a lot of people will get sick.
You get really sick.
Because your body relies on that carbs and all that stuff.
It doesn't know how. It does not know how to switch.
Keto's short for ketosis, right? Yeah. And that's a state that your body gets in once you reach that level, right? That diet is a keto diet in order to get to that place where your brain now knows to create energy from protein and from fats rather than carbs.
When you do keto for long enough, for me, the first time it took me like a month. Some people it takes like a week, but for like a month I was absolutely miserable. I had no energy. I just felt sick. It was so bad.
Did you like ever want to give up? I'm kind of just like, fuck this.
No, I'm.
So wait, like you're all natural then?
Yeah.
You've never, no testosterone?
No, I did HCG before. It's
human growth hormones?
No, HCG is.
I'll explain it. So it's basically what it does is it mimics, I think it's called luteinizing hormone. So it tells your balls to produce testosterone basically. Yep. So rather than injecting testosterone, you're just telling your body to produce a little bit more.
Which is really safe. That's why at the end of a testosterone cycle, it's always recommended to use HCG.
Yeah. So if you are taking exogenous testosterone, at the end of it, you use that to restart your balls so they don't like shrivel up and die. But it's also just taking it by itself.
Have you ever been in a cycle like that or no? Like
No.
testosterone, steroids, nothing?
Well, that's the thing because
it's just all genetics.
I did the HCG, and it like immediately you start gaining muscle and losing fat at the same time, which is crazy because you can't normally do that. Like normally you have to be gaining muscle and gaining a little bit of fat or staying the same, or you can be losing fat but not really gaining muscle.
It's just like
you
literally
can't do them at the same
pressing
time.
a button, you're like, oh, boop, whoop.
But immediately it's like I'm gaining muscle and losing fat at the same time. It's fucking crazy. But there was a bunch of negative side effects. One, when you're messing with your hormones like that, there's different things that can happen when it comes to like getting an erection, especially once you come off of it, because you can't be on it forever. So then it kind of flips around, then you're getting a little bit too much estrogen. You can't really pick where, like you can try. There's different things you can take to try to keep it at the right level, but it's it's a guessing game.
Always has to balance back.
Yeah,
if there's
it's
a
a guessing game, so it's really hard when it comes to like getting an erection during that time.
You were having issues a little bit.
Oh my God, yeah, no, I was, dude, I was having erectile issues like when I got out of prison, like so I got my testosterone levels checked. I'm like, you're like, usually with these places too, they're like, oh, your levels are, they're really low. Like low or not, I got on testosterone and I was on it for a few years, dude, and I just got off of it. But I feel great being off of it now. But I took HCG coming off of it. I did all that. But huge issues prior. So I got on testosterone, and then coming off of it, it was fucking hell, dude. I'm like, and then not only that, like when your hormone levels are off as a man, like again, fucks with your confidence. You have no energy. You have brain fog. You're just like slow. You're like, why am I feeling like this? You don't feel as strong. You just don't feel like a fucking man. Yeah. Like there's a part of an aspect of you that's gone. So it took me. It's been 2 months now, so I feel I've been off. Better. Good now. Everything's great. Oh yeah, my dick's working amazing. I went in that whole process. I went and got PRP injections in my dick. I'm like, I got to do porn. I got to shoot fucking porn. My dick has to work. This is how I make money. And so, doing some research, looking at it, it's platelet rich plasma. You know all about it. So, when I finally got off everything, dude, my body works so amazing now. It's fucking great.
Yeah, because that's the thing. If you have too much testosterone, that's also bad. It's you have to have that perfect balance, and your body knows how to do it. But when you're adding stuff, your body just gets confused, and it kind of fucks you up.
And mentally too, like hormones are off.
That's the next symptom I was going to say is the mental symptoms. So like when your hormones are kind of whack, when you're actually on it, you're fine. When you have a lot of testosterone, it actually is a mood booster.
Absolutely, you're in a great mood. You're ready to kill the.
But when you come off, then it's like, so it's just too much of a craziness.
I relate it because I used to be a heroin addict for 16 years. I've been clean for 7 years, but I relate coming off of steroids. Like steroids is like mental heroin. Because like you feel so amazing when you're on steroids, you're fucking killing everything. You're so strong, like, but coming off it, the come down is so heavy. And by come down, it's not physical, it's mental, and the mind games that come with it, like the overthinking, the lack of confidence, the fucking struggle of like, are people like, I fucking was going insane, dude.
Yeah.
Literally like paranoid about everything. I'm like, this is not who I am, and like it's now finally like dissipating. And not like I'm super paranoid, but just like it's always like. An inferiority that like it definitely created that length of time that I was on testosterone and also using steroids. It definitely created did a rewiring in a sense where like it created this live like inferiority where like this complex of like, oh, people think you're a bitch, or that you're not strong enough, you're not a man. Like we were talking about this earlier, and like I always have to go back to like, damn, that's rooted out of my own issues for myself. And like, but I know that steroids has a huge thing to do with that, and especially testosterone, because like you see guys in the gym, dude, that are fucking huge.
Yeah.
And they're all on site, and they're just like, it's the worst mental breakdown because like they're like kind of like you in this, like not, you're a perfectionist, they see all the flaws, like, and nothing's ever good enough. You're getting smaller by the day, but you're really not. So it's like reverse dysphoria, like it's muscle dysphoria in a sense. Yeah. So it's wild.
It's probably in some way similar to like anorexia, where you just can't see.
It's like reverse anorexia. You can't see. Yeah. So I
feel like I'm that with my dick too. I'm like, my dick's tiny. You know what I mean?
I mean, dude, I think guys that have like, unless you're like just, I want to find out guys that are super super hung. They're just like fucking. Dude, are they? Do they have it worse than us? Where they're like, man, my dick's fucking shrinking.
Well, you need to think about it this way. A lot of straight guys don't see other dicks, so like they don't have anything to compare it to.
Yeah, dude. Oh my god.
So, like gay guys are always like, they know their dick size because they're always around dicks. But like, straight guys, they don't see what other. They don't even know like other bigger dicks
all
exist.
They see is online, and online everybody's 12 inches. So.
Yeah. Dude, I didn't see any. The only first time I saw like I saw my dad's dick like once when I was a kid, like, and then I'm trying to think, maybe a couple times at like a sports game, college football, like, as a kid, like all the fucking guys there pissing in the big trough. I'm like, take a peek. I'm like, what the fuck? Like these, relating it to my little fucking 8-year-old dick. But then like trying to think, when was I ever around a dick again? It wasn't until doing gay porn.
Exactly. So straight guys don't have anything. They don't know like average size dicks exist, and average size dicks are not that big.
I know, and that's what I'm leading into is like I thought that I had a small dick for the longest time too, until I'm like, that guy's fucking hung, but. I'm like, actually, I have a pretty big dick. Okay, cool. Like, that shit went out the window. I don't even think about my dick like that anymore. So also, you need to be around more dicks, Sam.
Also, I feel also the thing is like once you start getting older, you just don't care. Like
exactly.
Even if you have like a 4-inch dick, once you're like 35, I don't give a shit. I got a 4-inch dick. Fuck you.
Yeah, fuck you. I got a 4-inch dick. I got 400K in my bank account. And all the girls want to fuck me anyway. So yeah, because when it comes down to it, in reality, as we get older, like. Women don't really care that much. Like the idea of like, I need to have this huge dick, like that's not really the case, dude.
It's about how you use it, I feel.
For sure. Well, especially with trans women, unless you're just like blown out like me, like you don't like, you're like, I need a huge dick. No, you don't. Like you just want husband dick. And most cis females are like, oh, they want that fantasy, but like unless they've had kids, like that is a little more open area to have sex with as far as vaginal cavity goes, but like 4-inch dick with a $400,000 bank account rather than an 8-inch dick and a fucking broke ass dude, you know what I mean? Like what's
use your mouth and fingers, fuck it.
Yeah, like we can make shit work here. Maybe buy a bag.
Yeah, honestly, I've always told everyone this. I'm like, I don't enjoy big dicks at all. They're fun to like suck and like fetishize, but like as far as like everyday life, like I like the boyfriend dick where it's like not too long, not too short, but not too thick and not too like skinny. It's like a good like dick,
like Goldilocks.
You can get fucked by it all the time and not like be like, oh, I'm more now. You know what I mean? So I
call it the Goldilocks.
I call it the boyfriend dick because like
just right.
It's kind of like you fuck the sluts, but you settle down with like the mediocre girls. You fuck the big dicks once in a while, but then you kind of settle down with like the boyfriend dick.
Yeah, but I mean, the problem is when it comes to cameras, it's like you got to have
Oh, of course. They want the fetish
yeah.
size of everything. They want like the hottest bitch, the biggest dick.
Unfortunately, like
you can't pick and choose.
Like I noticed, like bodies do look a little bit better, like on camera sometimes. Maybe adds a little bit. Dicks don't
for men.
Yeah.
They look better on camera because it adds 10
men look
pounds.
better on camera. Women look worse on camera, but dicks don't look any bigger.
Because camera adds 10 pounds. It's like
if you have
all
a small
right
dick.
there.
It's gonna be small in the camera.
Yep. I mean, there's that, and then there's opening up to the camera. So it's like,
dude, yeah, that's a whole
like,
nother ball. Yeah,
you just have to like. The only way for them to get light in there is if you have enough distance between you and the girl. You know?
How frustrating was it for you, getting into shooting scenes? Like, this is for me. My biggest frustration is like, I love to top, I love to fuck, and I'm really good at it. However, in porn, we have to fuck in these weird ass positions. Yep. How was it for you at first? Just like, because you all like, now we're going into this place of we love, like, you love women, obviously, you're turned on, but you're also in this space of like, okay, lights are here, cameras here. There's actually 2 cameras. I need to be opened up. Like, for you mentally, how does that shift? Like, are you still present, and are you still, or is it still now, is it a workspace too? Like, are you like, oh my God, this is great, but you're like,
yeah, it always has to be a mixture of the both, because it's like, if you like lose focus of the girl and you're thinking about like, everything else around you, then it's like nothing's gonna work. I've actually I've only had one failed scene so far. So
how'd that happen? Like, what was the fail?
Like
Xanax.
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah. No, I've learned definitely. Like,
I've taken Xanax once in my life. I didn't know what it did.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Yeah, you couldn't get hard after that, huh?
I didn't know that it lasts. Xanax lasts for 12 hours.
As long, yeah. The half life
before, so I go to sleep. I was like, I hadn't been able to sleep, and I had this huge scene the next day.
Oh,
like,
if you'd never taken Xanax?
This was with who was it? Was it like, what was it? It was Penthouse. So it was like the runner-up Penthouse Pet of the Year. And I was like, oh, this is a big scene tomorrow. This is when I was brand new. I was like, I have to do good at this. I was like, I hadn't been able to sleep lately, so I was like, I'm gonna take a Xanax. I'm gonna have a good night's sleep.
Hell yeah, you got a good night's sleep.
On set. This is honestly, it's probably the biggest set, like with the most people I've ever been on, even since then. There's like 12 people around me. The assistants, the make, like everybody in a half circle around me,
catering
lights,
to you too,
everything like that. We got one of the hottest girls on the planet in front of me. There's nothing. It's it's the limpest it's ever been in my entire life.
Oh, fuck.
And I'm just like, and they're all just like.
Well, Sam Shock, I want to introduce you to this beautiful thing called Trimix.
That's when you should have had Trimix, bro.
You know what Trimix is?
That's like the shot, right?
Yeah.
That's what he takes. Yes.
Yeah.
It just instant boner.
Yeah.
You can be thinking about everything else, but the dick's just hard the entire time. Trimix.
Don't fucking say that. Now people are like, Alpha's doesn't thinking about like. I'm like, dude, I fucking am late on my rent right now. I'm like fucking shooting a scene. I'm like, but the Trimix, I'm like, sorry, but it's the truth. You know what I mean? Like, it's a coagulant. Like
I don't even know if Trimix would have beaten that Xanax, man.
Oh, it would.
It's
it can beat everything. Trimix conquers all.
Yeah. But with that being said, before we go out, is there anything that you want to plug for yourself?
Plug for myself. So I just started my new OnlyFans. So get on there. If you like big titties, that's the spot.
Give us the handle for that.
No, I was asking,
it's at Divine VIP. So
I just saw that.
Yeah.
I was just looking at it.
Yeah. So it's at Divine VIP. That's the handle.
You have your regular one, which is
my regular one is Sam Thundercock.
Sam Thundercock.
Yeah.
Okay. Perfect.
I was like, well, that's the thing. As I asked people, I was like, what do you like more, my body or my dick? And they're like, we like your dick. And I was like, all right, I'll change it to Sam
Thundercock. Love it. Well, yeah, you guys, that's his handle. What are your handles that you want to plug?
Oh yeah. The only important one is OnlyFans. So that's OnlyFans /Alpha Wolf with a E and a 1. Alpha Wolfie 1.
But thank you so much, Sam Shock, for coming on this podcast.
This is my first ever podcast.
You did wonderfully.
You did
great. I'm glad that people can finally get to meet the person behind like the porn, fantasy, because everyone sees porn, but you don't really get to know the person. So it's kind of like they get to know who you are a little bit, your little personality. So it's like, it's great. It's nice. And I'm glad that I can provide that little platform as your first podcast. You're welcome. But yeah, you guys, thank you so much for watching. And until my next episode, let's get demonetized.